Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sikhuluma ngama reality TV shows, ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers. And today, you guys, I am going to talk about ishow Gogo Maweni ebizwa ngokuthi Thokoza Gogo. Okay? I'm surprised that Gogo Maweni has actually made a decision to move from Mzansi Magic to Moja Love, okay? You usually move from Moja Love to Mzansi Magic. She's done the opposite. And this is a different show with just her and the husband that are like the main cast members. So you don't see other Sangomas there on her show as part of the show, okay? Which is different from the show that she did before, okay? And it makes sense really because obviously from the previous show afterwards there were issues with fellow cast members because there had always been that impression that the show was actually has that was Izangoma Zodumo. And now we just found out recently that some of the cast members from season 1 were never paid, so there was always those issues. So it makes sense that honestly she decided to do the show on her own. But from watching the show this episode, because this was episode 2, I had missed episode 1. I only saw just part of it on YouTube. Honestly, you guys, it's hard with Ishoga Gogo Maweni because Gogo Maweni is somebody that I feel like is kind of addicted to trending. And sometimes I feel like Gogo Maweni would do anything or say anything just to shock people so that she can end up trending. And so when you do a reality show with someone like that, because even though with a reality show some of the story lines might be made up or prompted, you do want to get a bit of reality somewhere in there. So it's hard with this show, honestly, you guys, to know which is reality, which is not reality, okay? But anyway, it's her and her husband, Osabelo, you guys. We know that recently there were rumors that they are not doing well in their marriage and they might be breaking up, but then they celebrated their anniversary, they were together, so it seemed like the rumors were not true, okay? So, there is this one issue of Gogo Maweni and praying to Usatane or something like that. Honestly, guys, like things like that for me, I feel like Gogo Maweni sometimes just would say those things to shock us. And I think the husband also understands, which that is the whole goal of that, you guys. And also, her husband has this belt that he has on his arm that he says it's for his protection, and inside the belt there is a bullet there. For an example, what is the point of them showing us that on the episode? Because it's supposed to be some kind form part of some kind of a structured storyline. So it's like they just randomly do things or show us things or say things that are just shocking randomly, that are not part of anything that is like structured for us to see. So I don't know, you guys. I think with this show, I'm still not sure if I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm just watching it to see, does it get interesting? Okay. I really feel like if you're going to do a show Yezangoma on TV, then you have to be able to have some kind of a structure and also have a goal in mind. Is your purpose to educate us about Ubungoma, or are you wanting to get rid of the stereotypes when it comes to Ubungo? I feel like I'm not getting what is the purpose of the show. That is what I'm trying to say. If I am sounding like right now, I don't know what I'm saying, I don't have direction in what I'm saying, that is because that is exactly how I feel when I watch that show. Okay, I just feel lost. Like what is the purpose of doing the show? What is she trying to present to us as the viewers? Okay. And so today she was going to get a tattoo on her arm, and angazi, it's something that relates to the devil, I guess. That's why they started having that conversation about the Satan. And then at the same time, she's having a conversation with her husband because she is raising step kids, but she says she's never met a mother of the kids, Zikasabelo, and she does not understand why she has to raise somebody's kids, and she's never met the mother. And also says things like she just had the kids and left them and doesn't see them, doesn't call or doesn't do anything. If that is true, you guys, that is a shock to me. I mean, I'm always shocked by a woman who can do that. Anyway, I'm shocked by any parent that can do that. Even if it's a man, okay, they can just have kids and then go on with their lives without really caring what's happening with their kids. Even if you know for sure there's somebody taking care of your kids, but I mean, you're going to check on them, you're going to find time to spend with them, you know. So yes, she wants to meet her. Okay, I hope that that is true, you guys, that she hasn't met her. They're not just lying for the show, because obviously that is not a good picture that they are giving us of the mother of Sabelo's kids. But Sabelo does end up changing the topic to say Gutinai he wants to meet the fathers of Gogo Maweni's kids, because she does have, I believe, two boys too, who have two different fathers. And he's like, so if you are saying that you're not going to raise my kids without knowing their mother, so I'm not going to raise your kids without knowing their fathers, so I want to meet them too. Which she says that she doesn't want him to meet the fathers, and her kids are well taken care of. In fact, she even says that her kid speaks better English. Hey, Gogo Maweni. She says good thing because her kid speaks better English than her father. I was wondering which father is that? Is that the soccer player or is it the actor? You know, I'm guessing it's a soccer player because I don't know the soccer player, because the actor does speak, you know, very, very fluent English. So I'm guessing she meant a soccer player. But that was a weird comment to make, like for you to try to prove that your kids are taken care of. It's because they speak better English than their fathers. I didn't see where that was coming in, but it comes in for Gogo Maweni, okay? So yes, you guys, I guess they're trying to bring in that storyline. I hope that they do go into that storyline, because then it will make a like better sense for us to be watching that than to watch this thing Gogo Maweni Edum Goma, because with that she doesn't have a direction on what exactly she wants to show us as the viewers, okay? And also Usabelo does end up going to see his uncles somewhere at the taxi rank. They're sitting in a taxi, and they're talking about the fact that him and the uncles were saying Sabelo and Gogo Maweni have been together for 5 years, but they haven't had any kids, okay? And from what Usabelo is saying, he's saying that they do want kids and the kids are gonna come when the time is right. But the uncles don't know that Gogo Maweni actually cannot have kids, because Gogo Maweni, I guess she had her tubes tied, and so she can't have kids. They will have to go and reverse the procedure, which probably Gogo Maweni will not be wanting to do that. If you have two kids, guys, it's enough. None of us do they really have to have their own child together. If they are satisfied with just having ingane Gogo Maweni ingane Sabelo and they feel like it's enough, why should they have another? But the uncles are convinced that they need to have a child between the two of them, okay? So Usabelo did not tell them, no, but the problem now is that Gogo Maweni cannot have kids right now. And also he did not say during the diary session if Gogo Maweni wants to have kids. He just said that Gogo Maweni right now she cannot have abantwana. So angazi ukuthi omalume bazobathatha abantwana. So malume, they are feeling like Usabelo has the responsibility of vusa umuzi kababa wabo. This is the thing that I don't understand, you guys. There will be people in families, they would say like, malume nje, they would say mshana, wena phela usuzovusa umuzi kababa ini. I'm like, uma ngabe wena wahluleka ukuvusa umuzi kababa wakho, why would you expect there's just that person, family ezoba an expectation that they would be the ones abazovusa umuzi kamkhulu, abazovusa umuzi kababa, when there are other males that could also baganwe and have kids. I never understand that in like black families. And Usabelo even said ukuthi umkhulu that they are talking about is their father. They are expecting him ukuthi avuse umuzi, and I'm like, ay bobo malume, hambani nani niganwe and have kids, nivuse umuzi kababa wenu. You know, sometimes you can just have unnecessary pressure from the family. And then the funny part is that they start talking about Gogo Maweni as makoti, ukuthi they feel like Usabelo needs a second wife because Gogo Maweni is not doing well in the courtesing department, you know. They say she once came at home, I guess it's those homes where umakoti is not allowed to sit on the chair. They're supposed to sit ocantin, and umakoti was sitting on the chair, and umkhulu was not impressed with that. And then when they were having an argument, umakoti just started arguing in English. Umalume was even imitating Gogo Maweni ukuthi she was saying sorry, apologies. Hey bakwethu, hey kanani, yo, hey. But umakoti ngeke wavele wakhuluma isingisi kakhulu. But what I liked ngomalume is the fact that they're not bebengakhulumi kabi in ukuthi bamkhuluma kabi umakoti, even though they do think it's weird that she was speaking English there and ehlele esihlalweni. And also I didn't feel like they don't like Gogo Maweni. I feel like they feel like she's not doing well in the courtesing business, and so maybe Usabelo needs a wife also koteza, you know. The funny thing about even families suggesting ukuthi uthole a second wife, they would not look at the fact that can you afford the second wife, because from what we have heard on the internet is that Gogo Maweni is the one that has money in that relationship. So maybe malume, they're just looking at them living a good life and thinking ukuthi umuntu Usabelo can suddenly afford 2 wives. So they're saying he needs to talk to Gogo Maweni, and so that she can agree for him to take another wife or have a girlfriend. I don't know how that is gonna go. I don't know if Gogo Maweni will ever say yes to that. Okay. And then we go back to, I feel like this show, if they focus on the family stuff, you know, the things that are going on with family, like this uncle storyline that they are starting with, you know, asking about the issue of them having children and Thokoza Gogo Maweni and all that, I think that could be a relatable storyline. And also on the other side, the storyline of the kids, where is the mother of the kids that Gogo Maweni is taking care of and all of that, meeting her, you know, co-parenting with her. Also Usabelo trying to co-parent with the fathers of the 2 boys. I think that is a relatable storyline. But then when she moved to the part Bungoma, which I think a lot of people are interested in that part, it gets disorganized. Like you don't know what she's trying to show us, okay? Because then the next scene, she's there with Amatwasa. I think there's like 3 or 4 Matwasa. And she always justifies Gogo Maweni indaba yokungabi namathwasa amaningi, because even on izangoma zodumo she did not have amathwasa. Like she would have like 2 or 3 people, you know. And she always says ukuthi yena, well, how would you train, like, you know, how would you train abantu about 50 all at the same time? Part of it makes sense, you guys. I mean, to be able to properly train people, you know, obviously it would work better if people are few than, you know, a big number, you know. But at the same time, it's always been like that. If uGobela is doing well, ubona ngamathwasa, you know, if uGobela is doing well, ubona ngamathwasa amaningi. So amathwasa amaningi is like, okay, this Gobela. What's up with this Gobela? You know, so I can't figure out, you guys. But we have to remember when we watch Gogo Maweni, because there's been some insinuation from the other Zangomas, from Ukoko Skoteni, from Ukoko Ngwemabala when they did that interview on Gogo's Koteni's podcast that Gogo Maweni is not what she's presenting to people to be. It's almost like akayona lokobela lesithu akayona lesangoma sethu uyiso, you know. So I mean, when you watch the show, you're like, okay, is this what they're talking about? Is that why you don't have amatwasa? Because vele awusona really isangoma, you know, awulaphi vele awuthwasisi vele, you know. She had isangoma somlungu nje ngathi baxosha umlungu somewhere laphayana ezimele lapha emgaqweni ezicelela imali bathi woza sizothi uyithwasa, we will pay you. Because that white guy just looked so confused. He looked so confused. He looked like he is like, what am I doing here? You know? And there was something about him not wanting to be called Gogo, wanting to be called Umkulu, and she was saying, no, you don't qualify to be called Umkulu yet. But I just noticed that Twasa Lomlungu look like ngathi what is she? Ngathi uthi mina ngilandeni lana vele ningibekele lana. He didn't speak much, but yeah, guys, it was weird thing because now he's trying to. She is talking to amatwasa, ne? She brings the books zakhe to say Silana, these are the books zakhe zokuthwasa. This is where she has recorded everything, anything and everything that you need to learn when it comes to ubungoma bakhe or ubunyanga bakhe is there in the books. And then the next thing he's talking about the snakes zakhe. Here's the thing, there's an interview that Gogo Maweni did where she explained what when it comes to inyoga, the snakes that she has, the snakes are not inyoga lezi zokuthwala, you know. There's an interview she did when she said, it's pets, inyogas are my pets actually. Just after she became Isangom, she became more interested in snakes. So inyogas are inyoga like a pet, like you have a dog or you have a cat. She said that. So now I'm confused now in this interview, not in this interview, in this episode now when she's talking as if lezi nyoka zakhe they relate to ubunyanga bakhe, almost like usefundisa amathwasa about lezi nyoka lezi, and I'm like, kanjani ngoba you had said ukuthi these are just pets. But she ends up explaining how she got the snakes. Angazi noma she had a dream to go and find that one big snake, and then she went and found it and whatever and all of that, and she started getting headaches after she got him, and then they had to go and cleanse the snakes and all of that, you guys. There's a lot on this show that we're going to watch and just have to, you know, and then you go to the thing on that thing, you know. Sometimes we're gonna have to do that with this show because there's a lot of things that we're going to be watching that are just going to be said and done for the shock factor, but they're not necessarily true. We just have to use our intelligence to be like, you know. And we know Moja Love is the right channel. She has gone to the right channel because Moja Love would do anything for that shocking factor, for them to get a show that every Saturday is going to trend, you know. And the more weird the thing is, the more shocking it is, the more are the chances that it's going to trend. So yes, you guys, that is the show. So far, you guys, I really don't know. This was the first episode where I really just sat down and watched the whole episode. Maweni is an interesting character to watch, but I think it does some of the things that she says just sound ridiculous. One of the things that they talked about with Usabelo is the fact that his family is worried about him because Gogo Maweni had said somewhere that she has joined the Illuminati, and I feel like even that, you guys, made me feel like because people that join those things don't usually just come out and talk about it. Those are like secret society kind of stuff. You don't come out and say I have joined whatever. So if you are talking about it, chances are you're not really doing it. That's what I believe, you know, because those things are supposed to be secretive, you know. And the fact that also Usabelo is not sure whether the Maweni is part of it or not makes me feel like it's not true, you know. So those are the things that we're going to be dealing with on this show. So I mean, it depends if you have the patience, honestly, to sift through this show as you are watching to see what do you believe to be true and what do you not believe to be true. Or you can just watch the show and be like, whatever she says is true, I will go with it, you know. It's up to you. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this show. maybe you guys need to check it out and see for yourself if you want to watch it or not. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona, share it with your friends, with the family, and even with strangers. Ngintanda kakhulu.